right before the 3-day Etalon class, Adrian, Australia, had to undergo an eye surgery. His lifelong habit of constantly tensing his body muscles, stuttering, triggered the detachment of his eye retina, and Adrian could lose his eyesight.
I am very thankful to you and to Roman for creating this program and providing access to the program. And I think that people's lives can be changed. If you guys want your life to change, then this is the way to change it. Help yourself, and I strongly suggest participate in this course and complete it and learn how to speak correctly. Okay, thanks. Goodbye, Anna. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you so much for being a great student. So
You're welcome.
It's been really
Thanks
a pleasure.
Thanks for being a teacher, great teacher.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
I have a problem in terms of having speech blocks sometimes. At times I may extend the word itself, or I may repeat the first sound, or I may also add a lot of pressure trying to get the word out, and I feel a lot of pressure around here. You know, my lips, my jaw, and my tongue. And that leads to me just trying to reassure myself by having a problem word come up and then rehearsing it and stuff in my head. I also tend to substitute words in, right? So I may want to use a certain word, but then I have to use a word that isn't as hard to say for me, or one that I won't get stuck on. I guess, see, now I'm stuck on a word I'm trying to say meaning, but I was, getting stuck on that, right? So it changes the meaning of what I'm trying to say.
It's kind of like when you go to the restaurant and you want to order a hamburger, instead you order a sandwich.
Exactly. You just say, oh, the thing with that patty inside or something instead of a hamburger, right?
Do you have any specific difficult words, letters, situations?
Yeah, words with B, D, perhaps M, and maybe S sometimes, where it kind of gets prolonged. I tend to freeze up or block more when I'm using a phone. And it's primarily just starting a conversation quite often where I get stuck. And then from there, it just goes, pretty crappy, so to speak. I may recover here and there, and then have to make a very conscious effort to speak slowly and stuff and try to enunciate more. And it sounds pretty, robotic and artificial then. Which is quite frustrating.
Enunciate more means push more, right?
Yep, that's right.
That's what you have here.
Yeah. Yep, so I saw a show called Studio 10, and it's a variety show, I suppose. It's a combination of news information as well. So the first person they were showing was a piece on Saya, the musician, and they were discussing that she had composed a song for someone else to perform possibly, but I wasn't 100% sure who that was. And when this person was singing the song, it didn't sound to me like it was her, but just from who I saw, it looked like it was her. There was a Statue of Liberty in the background, and also a skyscraper scene of the U.S., New York, I suppose. and there was a large sign in the background saying Studio 10 as well.
Какие трудности вы чувствуете в том, что вы делаете, когда говорите? Что напрягается? Может быть шея, может быть
So Roman is asking,
мышцы.
what difficulty, physical difficulty, are you feeling at the moment of your speech? What muscles do you tense?
Yeah, I feel that my lips get quite tight and they press together quite hard.
Yeah.
And I also get some strain in the jaw. I also find that my tongue tends to get fatigued as well because I seem to be using it a lot, I think.
Do you understand how you tense your tongue?
It depends on the word, I guess, but sometimes I will press it too hard forward trying to say a word, or I will try to like suppress it. Because I think I'm trying to help myself speak, but it's probably making things worse.
А кто вам сказал,
Who told you that speaking means pressing your tongue?
I have no idea. I've just been trying to correct myself, but it's getting worse, I think.
So the bottom line, it was your discovery, kind of invention, that if I push my tongue somewhere, then it's going to be easier to say?
Yeah.
This is similar to if you decided that if you push harder the door designed to be opened by pulling, then it will be easier for you to open it. Have you ever studied physics in school?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the law of Newton, that every power of action equals reaction, opposite reaction?
Yes. That's Newton's third law.
Yes. So according to this law, if I take a physical object, my tongue, and begin pressing it hard against something, no matter what, against my finger, jaw, teeth, then naturally the opposite and equal reaction will get back against my tongue, and it will become tense.
Do you understand that the reaction will be exactly the same? The energy will go against it. The same pressure will be applied against.
Yeah, it'll be in the opposite direction, yeah.
This is what happens to your tongue.
So now let's look at your finger. Okay, take your finger.
And now begin pressing the table with your finger. Press harder. Harder. Even harder.
What are you feeling? It's not just your finger is tense, but the whole body begins tensing.
Yeah, so it travels from the tip of the finger, up the finger, through the hand, up the arm, to the shoulder, and then to the core as I was trying to press harder and harder.
You're absolutely right. Now can you grab a simple pen? And now write the word mother.
Mother? Okay.
Was it easy for you to write?
Yeah, it was okay.
Did you push against anything?
Oh, well, I pushed against the pen itself while I was holding it, and against the paper.
Were you pressing hard or just holding it?
So with the contact of the pen and the paper, that wasn't hard, but I was gripping the pen firmly.
So how firmly did you push against with your fingers against the pen? Just
firm.
to squeeze it, just against, so you could squeeze it, or just to hold it in your hand?
Yeah. So when I hold it like this, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but this finger here, where the pen lays, I can feel pressure, and then when I remove the pen, I can see the change in the skin. So
Okay.
I think I'm pressing pretty firm.
It is because you have set up yourself on this funny misconception. You believe that the firmer you hold on an object, squeezing it hard until it's painful, it will be easier for you to operate it.
It's kind of your natural program, mental program. You believe that in order to do something better, you have to push harder. You have to just apply a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I can't remember any time where I've gently held a pen and just let it flow. It feels unnatural to me. I always feel that I have to hold it firm.
It means that you have incorrect mental program, muscle program, and you need to we need to clear up this program.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds reasonable because I always tense up here. And when I speak, I should have explained this previously, that when I try to speak and I feel that I'm getting stuck or may get stuck on a word, I exaggerate my facial movements and stuff. Just not the lips, using these muscles as well.
Of course, because you are tensing your muscles. You are exaggerating. Let's use your logic. If you believe that in order to do something better, you have to push harder, let's use your pen and let's apply even more pressure. So firm that you want to squeeze the pen. Is it going to be easier for you to write if you apply even more pressure?
No, absolutely not. I've had experience in the past speaking and then trying to get out a word, and I kept pressing and pressing, and I couldn't breathe at one point. I was squeezing my abdomen as well, like it's crunching down, and I was struggling to get out that word. When I was presenting one time, it was horrible.
But who pressed all these muscles? Who had this idea to help your action with tension?
It's me.
So who is causing all this phenomenon?
It's not him, it's me again.
Yes.
This is why this is impossible to cure, because the perpetrator is right here. It's you. Until such irrational belief that you need to help yourself with forceful pressure is alive in your head, you will continue tensing yourself with this same force.
At some point of your life, you made a decision, incorrect decision. The more I'm going to tense my muscle, the easier it's going to work.
True.
And today we're going to try to cure you from this infection. Because it's really infection, trash that you have in your mind.
It's a bad program, I guess.
It's a very bad program.
Yeah, today's day 3.
You haven't talked to the doctor yet, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know.
Well, he's gonna check it out again, and hopefully he'll say that I should, start to use sunglasses and stuff, because I've been kind of keeping this on instead, right?
Yeah.
Today it was very sunny out, and I was like a little chicken to, put the glasses on. So today I was outside, and I had several conversations, and I deliberately used words that I had trouble with in the past. It went good. No problems.
Congratulations.
I made phone calls to some shops earlier.
And how was your experience?
That went well.
Hello?
I'm just calling to ask if you sell a herbal supplement. Yeah, it's called St. John's Wort. Just wondering if you guys have that.
St. John's Wort?
Yeah.
Would you please hold the line? I'm going to check right away.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you make even one mistake?
I think not, no.
That was 100% perfect speech. Etalon speech. Congratulations. I think you are ready to begin your examination.
Dax. Dactyl. Dad. Dada. Dad and Dave. Baklava. Bakshish. Balaclava. Balance. balance of payments, medicinal, medicine, medicine man, medical, medieval, medieval Latin, medifraud, saboteur, saber, saber rattling, saber tooth, sack, saccharin.
So you have passed that part of examination. We'll go to the next part. Reading a text.
Marshall and Nancy dated for about 4 months while her crazy schedule kept her close to home. Marshall, who lived and worked 80 miles away, made the trek whenever he could steal enough time to stay with her. He always arrived at her place with flowers, candy, a small piece of jewelry, expensive champagne, and sometimes a naughty negligee. Nancy and Marshall are in a relationship together, and Nancy would steal some time away from her busy work schedule to get away and meet with Marshall. Marshall would bring her various things such as candies, gifts, flowers, jewelry, and even a sexy negligee. She is laying on the floor of the pen with a tiger having his paws wrapped around her. Now she is surrounded by 2 tigers, one orange and black, and one white and black. She's measuring her paws against the tiger's paws. The tiger stretching out his legs. Now she is in the pen with the white tiger, and he is running around and play wrestling with her. Now, I think it was 100%. I have not made mistakes.
It was perfect. Perfect speech! People may think that I've hired you. So you're a hired actor. So you have passed this part of examination as well.
Okay.
Now we're gonna go to the next part. You will be talking about anything from your memory.
The book was about a medical resident who was working in radiology, and he was one of the main characters involved in a plot that was circling around inadequate health care and a need to improve health outcomes for patients at this particular hospital. I don't think I made mistakes, but there were pauses because I had to think a bit.
And were they rational?
Yes.
Of course. Normal people do pause. It's normal. We're not robots. We gotta come up with a word. Okay, once again, 100%. Good for you.
I think my incorrect speech problem started when I was young. I believe it was perhaps sometime around kindergarten, maybe grade 1. And at that time, I wasn't aware of this myself. However, over time, you could see some people's response to the way I was speaking. And I do recall in grade 4, actually, that one kid who lived on our street, he asked me, "Why do you speak like that?" And I was, what?
How old were you?
I was probably around like 9 years old, I guess.
Yeah, still learning
Maybe
to speak. Yep.
Yeah. And just hearing that question, I was confused, because to me, I sounded like I was okay, speech-wise. But then, thereafter, you start to see more people who would respond in a particular way because you became more aware of it yourself and you were kind of watching for these things, I guess. So over time, I would have periods of non-problematic speech, but then sometimes I would have speech problems. And over time, I thought I was helping myself to fix things. I started to pick up bad habits, exaggerated facial movements, tongue protrusion, maybe even prolonged pauses. And that would just perpetuate the problem. And I came to the point where I felt like all of the facial contortions, all of the pressure and stress on the tongue was just really fatiguing me. And I just had to have that stop and change.
Did you do anything else before you came to our program?
I can't remember 100%, but I was seen by a few speech pathologists in school. They had me read a few things, a few passages, repeat words, and also try to relax yourself, breathe a certain way that properly, and always keep trying at it. And I do recall there was one kid there, and he had a really, really bad stutter.
Oh my God, so it wasn't...
He would just keep trying and trying, and just he'd just be stuck, and
So
it was horrible.
It was in a group setting, right?
Yeah.
I can't...
And that just creates more tension for all of them. Like in the group.
How many of you were there? Just 2 of you or more even kids?
At that particular time, there were just 2 of us, but a few times there were like 5.
And all stutterers?
Yeah.
Ah! Sorry, this is my...
varying problem levels.
Yeah.
And I even went to the point years later, I went to a speech language pathologist / audiologist, and I was hoping that those earpieces, those ADFs, would help. I just tried it there at the shop, but it was just too weird. I did not want to have that stuck in my ear. So yeah.
So audiologists were offering this kind of like speech easy devices?
Yeah, the delayed auditory feedback.
My God, everyone makes money on stutterers.
I just continued to try to help myself, and that obviously hadn't worked too well, as I was still speaking the same way. And then I thought, something has to change. And I saw the advertisement online and the web page, and I said, okay, let's try this. And here we are. I completed the program, and I learned how to speak properly. This program is a surprisingly simple program in one sense, not in terms of content, but just the fact that in a short period of time, things can change for you. I know it works. And I would suggest that whoever has problems with speech should consider this program. The program was straightforward in terms of the way it's presented and laid out. And yes, you do have to put the time into the class. However, it's all useful material, and it's not time that is wasted. And I feel that the skills one learns here will always stay with them. It's just a matter of continuing to practice, and you can't go wrong.
You have graduated 3 days, you worked hard, but is it over?
It's always continuing.
Speech is a skill, we learn it till the rest of our lives.
Yep.
So you have learned the basics. You know how to do it. Now is the time to go and do it.
Yeah, it's a use it or lose it kind of thing, isn't it? So once you learn it, you use it.
Use it and make it better. You grow your skill. Work on the mastery. Only you can decide when to stop increasing your mastery. You know, some people are happy when they just say 1-2 words. Others want to talk all the time. Third ones want to become public speakers. It's all up to kind of our priorities and what we want. In terms of your health, and I'm looking at your one eye, because this is a very strong indicator of the incorrect mental program you had on your mind. You were pushing, and of course your retina got detached. That's a very, very dangerous mental program of pushing. We cannot take it lightly. It's dangerous, it's harmful. It needs to be addressed in every person who stutters. You see now the connection between your eye problem and stuttering. You see that?
And I think that's quite common in a lot of people, where they get these pauses and blocks, and you can see that they're close to exploding in one sense, I guess.
Yep. That's why many people have, for example, retina detachment these days. We do, because we push, and finally, because I remember I told you I had retina detachment when I grabbed my son who was sitting in a carriage. He was heavy, and I came from the store with a lot of groceries in the carriage. And I grabbed it, picked it up, lifted it up, and ran on the 3rd floor. I lived in the apartment on the 3rd floor, ran with the carriage. I came home and I'm like, what's going on? Everything is black in one eye, like curtain, black curtain, you know. It happened to me when I was a little younger even than you are. It's pushing. That's what it does.
I am very thankful to you and to Roman for creating this program and providing access to the program. And I think that people's lives can be changed.
That's why I love my job. I enable people to change their own lives. I teach people how they can change their lives. I don't do anything. See, I don't. I just give you information. You grab information and you change your life. If you don't, not my problem. I do my best giving it to you. Okay?
Okay, thanks. Goodbye, Anna. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you so much for being a great student. So it's been
You're welcome.
It's been really
Thanks
a
for being a
pleasure.
teacher, great teacher.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it.
Bye-bye.